Good evening, everyone. Am I audible? Okay, very good evening, everyone. How are you? How are you all? Okay, great. Great to see that you all are doing fine. Yeah, I am doing good. Thank you so much for asking. People are still joining the class. Okay, so let's wait a couple of minutes and then we'll begin the session. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. We will start the class in very short time. Okay, I guess everybody's here. So please let me know if the screen is visible to you all or not. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much for the responses, people. So here from today onwards, okay, we are going to start our SQL classes. Okay, so yesterday we completed the programming foundation module. Okay, and from today onwards, we are going to start the SQL classes. So I would recommend you people to not bring the programming foundation questions and mix up with the SQL classes. Okay. From today, we are at a fresh beginning. We are going to start a totally different module. Okay. So try to focus on this one, try to be concentrate in this class, and then we will start this. We are starting SQL classes. Okay, as I have written over here. And then we'll get to know what is SQL, why do we need to learn it, how to implement it. Okay, we'll talk about each and everything. And we will talk about the commands, we'll talk about the queries, and we'll implement it also. That means we'll see the practical thing also. This is not only going to be theoretical, there would be practical, there would be questions, there would be assignments, everything will be given to you. Okay. So, and before I get into the discussion, I hope my voice is clearly audible to you all, right? Okay, great. Okay, great. So how many of you can define this word for me? Like you have heard this word before so many times, right? And like if I would ask you to define this word data, then how are you going to define this word? Would like to hear you people. So please respond me in the chat. Okay, raw material collection, information, any kind of information. Okay, set of informations. It's not in numerical form, it can be in any form. Okay, no, it's not set of rows and columns. Datas are the collection of information. Okay, it's raw facts, it's information. Information for particular thing. Okay, collection of information. Okay, I'm getting so many responses. And yes, you got it right. Data are the collection of informations. Okay, or these are the raw facts. So basically, in your daily life, okay, on daily basis, you are interacting with data. Like if I give you an example of a very simple a website, okay, if I talk about Amazon, then we all know that it is an e-commerce website, right? Here you can buy certain things, you can order something things, and it gets delivered to you at your place, right? And Amazon is a very established or very well-known enterprise, a well-known application, and each and everyone must have been used this application, okay, in order to purchase something from here, in order to order any product and get it delivered to your place. Okay, so if I talk about this Amazon, then there might be, it is interacting with thousands of lakhs of customers on daily basis. Okay, and not only interacting with those customers, it is also keeping the records, keeping the data of those customers. It's not only keeping the record of the customers, no, it is also handling all of the products that it has. Okay, there's a products, each and every, there are like lakhs of products, and each and products have their own categories. Then there are a bunch of things that it is being handling over here. Okay, so if I ask you, like for example, when you install any application, not only Amazon, maybe any food ordering website or anything, okay, and when you want to purchase something for the first time, I'm talking about for the first time at initial step, then there are certain information that you give to this app, right? For example, you want to buy something, okay, then you add it to your cart, then after that you are supposed to give your information, like you provide your name, right? Then you give your phone number, and the most important thing, you give your address. Yes, and on the basis of these informations, on the basis of name, phone number, and addresses, your product or the thing that you want to purchase gets delivered to you. Am I right? Yes, it gets delivered to you on the basis of the address that you provide, right? So you purchased one thing. We consider that for the first time you purchased a chair or something. Okay, you purchased this chair. Now the next day, next time you want to order any study table. Okay, you want to order a study table. Then when you are going to make its purchase the next day, or maybe after a couple of days, or maybe next month, and you have already installed Amazon, you have already fed this data, then do you need to type your name, phone number, addresses again while purchasing the study table? Or maybe after this, if you want to purchase a cloth or a jacket or something, okay, then do you need to input your name, phone number, or address, or any kind of information again if you want to purchase this jacket? No. Then the answer is no, right? We don't do it. Once when you feed the information, okay, once you give your data, these are the datas that are collected by a certain website application. Okay, that is in my case, I'm giving you an example of Amazon. So in the case of Amazon, it collects data from you, that is some bunch of informations. Okay, and it stores it somewhere. Okay, like it stores somewhere so that it can be accessed again and again. You changes can be made again. Okay, the value can be updated, so it's stored somewhere at the back end, that is called database. Okay, it stores all of the information in the backend, that is called database. Okay, later on, maybe if you change your address or if you change your phone number, then you can simply update your address, right? You can simply update your phone number, and the changes that you make is reflected in this database. That means the new value is given to the Amazon. So if you change your address, then your products are now delivered to the new addresses. Okay, so that's why this thing we are now going to talk about this database. Okay, as a data scientist, as a data analyst, you are going to work, you are going to interact with such databases on daily basis. Okay, you will be updating the data, you will be inserting the data, you will be manipulating with data that are being stored in this database. So in our module, okay, SQL, we will learn how to create these databases, how to insert records, how to insert values, how to manage the data that are being stored, how to retrieve the data. Okay, we are going to see all of these things in our SQL module. Are you guys clear about this? That did you get some background like what we are going to do in this SQL classes? Okay, so this is just a brief introduction. Now I will talk about, now we'll get into the topic. Okay, so here we are starting our SQL, and this is SQL. And basically the thing is that you might hear me pronouncing it as SQL. Okay, it's like we all know what does the SQL stand for. What is the full form for SQL? What is the full form for SQL? Is there anyone who can tell me? Yes, it stands for Structured Query Language. Yes, it stands for Structured Query Language. Okay, the full form of SQL is Structured Query Language. And the thing is that sometimes no, in this class, all the time you are going to hear me pronounce it as SQL. Okay, it's not a wrong pronunciation. It is correct as well. You can pronounce it as SQL. Am I audible? Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm sorry, there was some network glitch. Okay. Okay, I hope I'm audible now. Yeah, I'm going to share the screen. Yeah, I'm just shared the screen. Okay, so here it is. So we were talking about the full form of this SQL. Okay, that is Structured Query Language. So basically we're talking about the pronunciation, that how can you pronounce it. You can either call it as SQL separately, since this is a short form, or you can pronounce it as SQL. Okay, you are going to hear me pronounce it as SQL oftenly. Okay, so it's up to you what you want to do. And like what you prefer, you can go for the pronunciation as you like, either of the two ways. I hope this is clear to all of you, right? So now we will talk about Now we will talk like why do we need to learn about this SQL? What is SQL? Okay. And why do we need it? So I will start from the basic. As we discussed, as a data analyst, we are going to interact with data on daily basis, right? These data are collected from users or from anywhere. Like data are collected from the users and they are stored somewhere of any application in the form of database. The picture that I have drawn over here, this is an actual representation of database. Okay. So can I say that database are the collection of data? Can I define database as the collection of data over here? Okay. This thing, the picture that I have drawn over here, this is also called as barrel. Okay. We can also sometimes you might hear this as barrel also. So this is a representation of database. Okay. Data are collected from the users and they are stored in the database. And it is stored in the database in such a way that it can be accessed anytime. The value can be updated. Okay. You can make changes in it. You can retrieve the data. So there are a bunch of operations that you can do. And these databases can be accessed from anywhere. Like a large company, if I talk about any of the enterprises, then they store their records in the database. Like a very simple example, if I give you, in any university or in any school, then there must be a databases of the students, right? Where the name of the students, symbol numbers, their addresses, their permanent addresses, their blood groups, their section, their classes, all must have been stored somewhere in the system, right? It must have been stored somewhere over there. So now we know that data are collected and it is stored in the database. But these data are not directly stored in the database. We need a way, we need a medium in order to store this data. Are you guys getting the point? That means you cannot directly take a data and put it into the database. We cannot do that. Okay. We need a way or we need a medium in order to store this database. That means these data are collected. Then here we need a medium in order to store. We need a software. Okay. We need some kind of software. We need a system in order to take this data and store into the database. And we call this system as DBMS. Is there anyone who knows the full form of DBMS? Yes. Okay, I'm getting responses. Yes. So many people have responded to me. Yes, so you are right. Basically, DBMS stands for Database Management System. Database Management System. Okay. Are you guys getting the point up to here? That means the the data that are collected from the users. Okay, any application that you see, either it is Zomato, it's Swiggy, it's Amazon, it's Flipkart. Okay, there are a bunch of applications. They all collect data from the user on daily basis, right? And they store it somewhere. But it's not like it is happening automatically or it is happening magically. No, there are people who work on this software, okay, who make uses of this software. They take data from the user and they put these data into the database so that it can be accessed later on as well. Okay, so we need a medium in order to store these data, and that medium or that software is called database management system. Okay, in database management system we have two types of database management system. One of them is relational database management system. Okay, relational database management system, and second one is non-relational database management system. Okay, non-relational database management system. And in our module we are not going to talk about non-relational database management system because that is not our concern. Our concern is relational database management system that we will discuss over here in our module. Okay. So here you need to understand that this database management system are the softwares. The software that is going to help us in order to create database. Okay. In order to work with database. These are the software that is going to help us. Now there are two types of database management system. Okay. There are two types of database management system here. One is relational database management system and another one is non-relational database management system. We don't have any concern with non-relational database management system. We are going to talk about relational database management system because we need to learn about that. In real life industry, we will be working on these things that's why we'll be discussing about it. Why is it called relational database management system? Because here in this type of database management system, the data are stored in the form of tables. Okay. Why is this called relational database management system, people? Because here the data are stored in the form of tables, but here there is not any tables. Okay. In non-relational, there isn't any tables. Okay. There isn't any relation of the data with each other. There isn't any relation. That is the difference in relational database management system and non-relational database management system. Are you guys getting the point? Yes. So in relational database management system, in tables, we know that data are related to each other in the form of row and column. So we'll be doing that. Okay. This is a software only. This relational database management system is what? This is a software which is going to help us to create database management system. As I'm telling you here, the definition is that it's a software. Here you can see the picture. Okay. Try to visualize the picture that we collect data. Okay, data are need to be stored in the database, but it cannot directly be stored in the database. No, we need a medium. That medium is software. We need some kind of platform. Okay, we need a platform or we need an application in order to store those data in the database management in the database. That platform is called database management system. Okay, that platform is called database management system. We have two types of database management system, that is relational database and non-relational database. We don't have any concern with this because this is not what we need. We need relational database in daily life. Okay. And why is it called relational database management system? Because here the data are stored in the form of tables. And we will see after some time, I will show you how to create these tables and everything. Okay. But for now, just understand that in relational database management system, the data are stored in the form of tables. Okay. So it's a software. Then that means there are going to be various type of software. There are going to be various examples. Okay. So in relational database system, we have different examples of relational database system. Okay. Like for example, let me tell you, if you want to create a document, okay, if you want to create a file, a document, then don't you have like bunch of applications available in the market? You can use MS Word, right? You can use Word Star. Yes, you can use like your PDF file. Yes or not? Document. So you have this application that is called MS Word. You have Word Star. We have Google Docs. Like, yes or not? So what are these people? These are softwares. Yes or not? Aren't these like applications? Aren't these some softwares that is going to help us to create this document? Right? There are a bunch of applications. And it depends on the person. Like MS Word is also popular, WordStar is also there, Google Docs is also there. But it depends on your compatibility, that if you want to use Google Docs, if you want to use MS Word, or if you want to use WordStar. All of have similar features, right? All of have similar features. all have something that helps us to create the document. So these are the examples, these are the softwares that you can use in order to create document. Are you guys getting this point, what I'm trying to say? In the same way, okay, now relate this example of creating document in order to create database. You have bunch of relational database or management system, or you have bunch of relational softwares available. Okay, so just like you have bunch of softwares available to create document, we have bunch of softwares available, okay, examples of softwares to create database. So we have bunch of, like, there is something that is called MySQL workbench, okay, that you must have installed on your system, right? Then Excel is not a database, okay, Excel is not. Then we have something that is called Postgres, okay, we have something called Oracle, okay. Access is not the software to create database. I'm talking about the examples of softwares to work with database, okay, to work with database. Yeah, so for that we have MySQL workbench, we have this Postgres, we have this Oracle, okay. So these are some software applications available that you can use in order to work with database or in order to create database. Are you guys getting this point? And these all softwares are the examples of this relational database management system, okay. And in our module, out of all of this, what are we going to use, people? We are going to use this MySQL workbench. Because why are we going to use MySQL workbench? Because if I give you an example of like Amazon, if I give you an example of YouTube, okay, if I give you example of a very famous application, all of the enterprises, okay, like Airbnb and everything, this all of them uses MySQL workbench. It uses MySQL, okay, it uses MySQL to handle the databases. That's why, because 90% of the market is dependent on this particular software, that is MySQL, okay. That's why we are going to learn about MySQL and we are going to implement the things over this software in order to work with database. Are you guys clear up to here? Okay, let me repeat one more time. Here, let me repeat from start. Uh, let me repeat from start that every application, okay, I hope you know that as a data analyst or that data scientist in future, you are going to work with the databases, okay. You are going to work with bunch of data only. So we take data from the user, we store it in database, okay. In order to store it in database, we need a software application, we need a system, basically we need a platform. You cannot directly take data from a user and put it in the database, no. You need a medium, you need a platform in order to take the data and store it in database. We call that platform as what, people? What do we call it? We call it a database management system, okay. We call it database management system. There are two types of database management system. One is relational, second one is non-relational, okay. We don't have any concern with this non-relational database management system because we don't need to, this is not our concern right now. Right now our concern is relational database management system, okay, where the data are stored in the form of tables. That's why it is called relational database management system. And we have bunch of softwares like this platform. We have bunch of softwares available. We have bunch of relational database management system available in the market that you can use in order to work with database, okay. And some of those examples are like MySQL. We have Postgres. These are the name of the applications. Okay. This is Oracle. These are the name of the applications. And out of all of these applications, we are going to use MySQL for our module. Why is that? Because it is one of the most popular database management system. Okay, it is one of the most popular software that 90% of the market is dependent on this one. That's why we are going to learn about it. And also the thing is that once you will learn about MySQL, then you can easily work on Postgres also, you can easily work on Oracle also, because all of the syntaxes are going to be same. Okay, it's not like this one is totally different from MySQL, or this is totally different for, no, they are similar to each other. Once you will get the base with MySQL, you can easily work on Postgres also, you can easily work on Oracle also. Are you guys clear about this now? It does not have coding, it has something called queries. Okay, and I will tell you what is it. If you have any queries, any doubt, any questions, you can ask me. If not, then I will move ahead. Okay. Okay, so up to now we are clear that three thing is very much clear that uh, for non-relational we have example called MongoDB. If you have heard about this application, okay, MongoDB is an example of non-relational database management system. Okay, yeah, NoSQL also. Okay, up to now you can make notes for what is data and what is database and types of DBMS. Okay, three things you can make notes of. Okay, now I will talk, let me begin this. So up to now we understood that I have some data. Okay, I need to store it in database. In order to store it in database, I'm going to use RDBMS, that is relational database management system, and then I will store it in the database like this. Okay, this is my database over here. Database are the collection of data. Now, in our case, what we are going to use, I'm going to use an application that is called MySQL. Okay, this is the name of the software that I'm going to use. Now, in order to understand something, let me tell you, this is a software application. Okay, it's a platform, something like this. In order to uh, in order to create this database, as we all know, computer understands some keywords and some languages, right? So what is WordStar is just this application to create documents. Okay, it's an old application. Okay, so do you guys know how applications are made, mobile application apps, how apps are made? Okay, or how some websites are made? For example, you are using a website. For example, if I talk about Netflix, okay, the Netflix has both, it has mobile application also, you can access it by going to www.netflix.com as well, right? Once you type this, the Netflix page appears, yes or not? And then there you have the interface where you can choose the movies and you can watch it, you can binge watch the series or anything, right? So if I tell you in very brief, if I tell you in very brief, then how is this particular website created, how all of the designs are created, then these are created by using programming languages. How is that created, people? They are created by using the programming languages. Okay, There are a bunch of programming languages available in the market. Like we have Java, okay, we have Python, okay, we have something that is called HTML, okay, then we have CSS for designing, okay, we have JavaScript. So these are scripting language. This is okay. So these are some bunch of languages available that a programmer uses in order to incorporate and create a yes, C++ is also a programming language in order to create this website. Okay, are you guys getting the point? Like we have discussed what is programming language in programming foundation part, right? Programming languages are something that we use in order to give instruction to the computer, and then that computer follows the task and does the task for us. Yes. So if I'm giving you one example of a Netflix, then we need to think how this website must have been created. Then there are certain languages involved in order to create this website. All of the websites, either it is YouTube, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, okay, if you are using Amazon, if there is Swiggy, if there is Uber, Ola, okay, all of the applications, all of the things, the gaming application, the Candy Crush game, anything, okay, they, in order to develop such applications and in order to maintain such websites, there are programming languages involved, and these are some programming languages, okay, and it has some rules, some syntax in it that a programmer follows, write the codes with it, and then develops a website. Are you guys getting the point? Are you guys getting the point? Okay. So they use this programming language and they write it over on the system, like on the computer, on any software applications. Okay, they write it that. In the same way, if you relate this example, now we need to create database, right? We need to create database, we need to update it, we need to work on it. We have an application. This is like a notepad. This is like a note copy given to you. Okay, it's considered that this is the copy. This software application, MySQL, is the copy given to you. It's like a notebook that is given to you. Okay, now you need to write on it. You need to do what? This application is not enough. You need to write on this application. That means you need to write something on this application in the form of commands, give instruction to the computer. The computer will follow the instruction and then it will create database for you. Are you guys getting the point? You got the medium, okay? You got the software application. The thing is that I hope you are clear up to here. I hope you are clear of this diagram up to here, right? That in order to work with database, you need a software application that is MySQL. Now relate this MySQL as a platform. It's a platform like this. Okay. You cannot just open this platform and sit in front of that platform and wait for the database to create itself. It is not going to happen, right? We need to give instruction to the computer. We need to give instruction to the computer in order to create this database. Okay. You cannot just click or tap on this MySQL. MySQL will open up and create a database for you. No. You need to write something over here. Like you need to write what? You need to give instructions. You need to write instructions on it. You need to give commands on it. And after following those commands, database are created. Okay. Just like the way programming languages are involved in order to create apps and websites, okay, just like the way we have Java, Python, HTML, CSS and all in order to create these apps and websites, we have a language that is called structured query language. Okay, we have a language that is called what? This is structured query language. We write this language on this application that is MySQL. Okay, we give instruction to the computer by using the with the help of this language, the computer takes the instruction, and then after that databases are created, or after that we insert value into the database, or after that we update the values into the databases. Okay, let me repeat one more time that in order to work with database, okay, there's an application that is called MySQL. In this MySQL is like a platform. Okay, it's a platform. It's like a notebook or something. You can consider that. On this notebook, you need to write something. You cannot just go and write like, please create a database for me, because computer is not going to understand that, right? You cannot write in that way. You cannot write a mail on it or something. You are supposed to use a specific language. Okay, you are supposed to use what? You are supposed to use a specific language in order to give instruction to the computer, so that computer will take the instruction from you and then create a database for you. And that language is called structured query language, and we are going to learn about this language over here. We will learn about how to give instruction by using this SQL, and we will see what are the commands that are involved over there, and we will see how to implement these things. Are you guys getting the point? Okay, so programming languages are one thing. Programming languages involves coding. Okay, programming languages involves coding, and it is for developing apps and websites and other applications. In order to create database, okay, in order to create database, you don't need programming language. No, we don't need programming language. In order to create database, we need a language that is called structured query language. Okay, in order to create database, what do we need? We need structured query language. So now if I'm going to define SQL, okay, then I can simply define it that it is a standard language to deal with database. Okay, this is going to be the definition for SQL, and we all know what does this stands for. It stands for structured query language. Okay, so structured query language is just like any other programming language. If you know what is Python, you know what is Python, right? Python is a programming language. You will use it in order to create websites later, in order to work with bunch of applications. In the same way, SQL is also a language, but it is a query language. Okay, it's a query language in order to create database, in order to work with database. Are you guys getting the point? Okay, so MySQL, okay, MySQL is a software application. It is software application. Okay, and SQL is the language. Okay, and MySQL is a software application. SQL is the language. We will open the software application. Okay, we will install the software application on our system. We will open it, and after opening it, we need to type something over here. We need to write something over here. We cannot just randomly type any language. Okay, like I cannot go on this application and write in Hindi or write in Urdu or write in Japanese or something. Okay, I cannot do that. I need to write the language that computer understands. And in order to create database, computer understands a language that is called SQL. So while writing some lines over here, while giving the commands to the computer, I'll be using a language that is called structured query language. Are you guys clear about this? Okay, so if you have any questions, you can ask me. And the work of database is to store data, large amount of data on a big scale, okay, to store the data permanently so that in future after you can access it efficiently without any problem. That is the work of database. All of the industries right now have their own databases where they store their data. Okay, all the critical data or the all kind of data are stored in the database in today's world. If you talk of any of the applications, like for example, you people must have an Instagram profile, right? So while creating Instagram, you must have your profile, you must have your username, some bio. Okay, yeah, they store on cloud obviously, and the cloud is also a kind of storage. So what I was saying Instagram, right? So you must have your name, username, bio. On your feed you must have some pictures, right? You must have created some reels or something. So all of these things that you are uploading on the internet on Instagram app, okay, then all of your data are being stored in the database of that Instagram. Okay, the person who has created the Instagram, there are the person behind that application can easily access your data. Okay, the content of programming language for websites, no, they are not database. Database are a collection of a data. Okay, it's a storage, it's like a warehouse where you store the data so that you can access it later on as well. MySQL is a software where we write the command, yes. No, AI is not SQL. AI cannot be considered as a SQL language. No, it's not. It tells the database what to do. It's basically, rather than telling the database, it helps to create the database. Then yes, after that it tells the database what to do with the data, how to update or how to do it. Okay, now let's move ahead, you will understand it clearly. No, for MySQL, there is only SQL language. Okay, for MySQL, we have SQL structured query language only, not any other languages. Here, if you look carefully, people, the definition of SQL that I have written over here is a standard language to deal with database. Okay, so here this deal with database basically means that we can perform various operations. Okay, not only one thing, you can perform various operations. Like here you can, this dealing means we can create database with the help of SQL. Okay, you can read the data. It is not programming language, it is query language. Okay, we call programming language to those languages that are involved some coding. Here we don't write coding, here we write queries. That's why it is called query language. Okay, so for dealing we have create, we can read the data. Read means search the data. Okay, then you can update the data also, like update, or you can delete the data that are being stored in the database. Okay, sorry, not delete, I was supposed to write it edit. Okay, we can edit this also. Then here fourth, you can delete something as well. Okay, delete as in remove. Okay. So basically, with the help of structured query language, we can perform a basic operation that is called CRUD operation. Okay. What can we do? We are going to perform 4 basic operations with database, that is CRUD. Okay. CRUD operation, where C stands for create. Okay. R stands for read. U stands for update. And D stands for delete. So when I say structured query language is a standard language to deal with database, so basically this word deal means I can perform 4 basic operation, that is called CRUD operation. What is that operation called, people? I'm going to perform 4 basic operations, that is I I would be able to create database. I will be able to search any information in that database. I would be able to update it, and I would be able to delete it. Okay. And we are going to learn each and every operations. We are going to learn to perform, like how can we do this, how to implement this. We are going to learn about each and everything over here. Is everything clear up to here? Okay, great. So if I have collected some data and if I want to store it, then what is the first thing that I need? Like if I have some data, okay, and if I need to store it, then the very first thing that I need is that I need to create a database. I have a medium. Yeah, I would need a medium. I have a medium installed in my system. Okay. And then what I need to do is that I need to create a database first. Before creating a table, I need to create a database. Like for example, table will go inside this database. Okay, you need to create a container first. You first need to create a container, and inside that you will place the tables. So the first thing that you need is that you need to create a database. Okay. If you remember, people, I told you that whenever we are going to give instructions to the computer, then there are some keywords involved. Okay. So the first thing that we are going to learn to create a database. Okay. And I told you that there are some keywords that computer understand. Like if I'm going to write hello to the computer, it will never understand, because this word, the meaning of this word is not stored in my system. Okay. There are some, every languages have some keywords, some rules, some syntax that we need to follow, so that computer will understand your instruction, and according to that it will perform the task for you. Okay. So to create a table, we have a syntax. Who can define what is syntax? So syntax are basically the rules. Okay. Rules that we need to follow while giving instruction to the computer. Okay. It's a rule that needs to be followed while giving instruction to the computer. So to create a database, we have some rules, we have some syntax, we have some commands. What do we need to write is that at first I will write create. Okay. Then after that, what are we going to create right now? We are going to create a database, right? So here I will write database. Okay. Then after that, you will give the name to this database. The name can be anything. Okay, here you give the name of the database. The name of the database can be anything. You can name it your name. You can write A, you can write B, you can write whatever you want. Okay, it's name. So basically this create is the command. Okay, you can take it that it's a keyword, so that computer will understand, okay, I'm supposed to create something. It's a keyword like that. Okay, database means what we are going to create right now. What we want to create, and this is the name of database. Name of database, and this semicolon means here end of line. It's like full stop. Okay, whenever in real life, whenever you are writing sentences, then you give full stop to signify that this is the end of sentence, right? So when we write query, we give semicolon at the end to tell the computer that it is the end of this line, it is the end of this query. Okay, that's why you use semicolon at last. And this is the rule that you need to follow. You cannot go like, ma'am, I just want to write create and name, I want to skip this. Then you will not get your output, the computer will not understand that. You might say that, ma'am, I don't want to write database all, I just want to write data only over here. Then no, you cannot do that, you will get an error. Okay, so syntax are the rules that you need to follow. You need to write create, you cannot write the CRE only. Spelling should be correct. Okay, the spelling of the database should be correct, it should be exactly like this. And the name of database depends on you. So maybe the name of database could be ABC, anything that you want, you are free to modify over here. You are not free to modify this and this. Okay, so this is the syntax. Now I will open my SQL workbench. I will open the software where I will type this thing and I will show you how can we create database. Okay. So before I go, people who are confused about which software to download to create database, then maybe you are not updated to the things in your preparatory class. Okay, before anything was started, there must be a session that was taken for you in order to install the softwares that are required. Am I right? So that session must be available on your LMS. Okay, there's a session already taken. Okay, there's a recorded session already assigned to you, and there is a way, there are steps involved in order to install the software that are required, and there is also steps given in order to install which software. People, there is given MySQL workbench, right? Okay, so this is the software that you need to install in your system to execute this. And if you don't have today in your system, no worries, you don't have to worry about it. Okay, if you don't have today, then don't worry. Whatever the queries that I'm writing, note it down. Okay, whatever the queries that I'm writing, note it. Tomorrow in free time, install this software and revise everything. Try to execute on your own tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, before the next weekend class. Okay, you can do that. So if you don't have this software right now, you don't need to panic. Okay, how to install this software, where to install this software, what are the process involved, everything, I guess everything is shared in that recording session. So please go through that recording session. Okay, and see over there, there's a preparatory class. Okay, and try to follow the step and install it. Even after seeing the recording session, if you get any problem, if you could not install it, then you can raise a ticket regarding to it. One of the team member will connect to you and they will help you to install it in your system. Okay, a person is asking me which session, ma'am. So can someone tell me which session it is, because I don't get to exactly remember. So one of the person is saying it is second, either it is, some people are saying second session. To install this software application, what is the name of that video which has been shared? How to install SQL? Yes. So refer to your LMS. Okay, go through over your LMS. It must be there over there. Yeah, it is preparatory session, right? It must have written preparatory session. as I am repeating this thing again and again? Yeah. So go try to search that videos, that session, okay? And refer to one of the session and install MySQL Workbench in your system. Can we make Sunday session little earlier, because we have early morning shift for office on Monday? Then if you have anything problem with the timing session, you can raise a ticket regarding to it, okay? I can. Okay, so one of the person had said me that it's a recording of either 25th or 26th November, either one of them. So please, yeah, you need to keep, you need to be updated with the things that are going on, okay? You need to follow the sessions and you will be able to know it. So please do that. So let's not waste any more time on this, because this thing is already given over there. Go through that session, install this on your system. And as I told you, if you don't have this on your system today, no problem. You can take your time and install it tomorrow and then implement everything as well. Okay. So let's not waste time and let's move ahead, people. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to open SQL Workbench. Give me some time. Is the screen visible? Yeah. So after installing the MySQL Workbench, okay, something like this will appear on your screen if you will double tap on it. Okay. And you need to click on it. 1 second. Okay. So this is something that will appear on the screen. Okay. It will appear on the screen. So you need to click on this. Like it would be over there, local instance MySQL 80. And don't worry if your SQL Workbench does not match with mine. Okay, you don't have to worry about that, because there might be slight version difference, but it doesn't make any problem with executing the query. Okay. So are you able to see the screen, all of you? Okay, so this is the interface of MySQL Workbench. The first thing that you need to do is that you will install MySQL Workbench in your system. Okay. And after this, you will tap on it, you will double click on it, you will open it, then you will see this screen on your over here. Okay. You will see this over here. Now, here, if you, did you see this blank area here, this canvas area? Here we are supposed to type the queries. Okay. Here we are supposed to execute the commands that we need to. Here you will do the typing like this. Okay. Here you will write the command, and then after that we will execute it. Okay. As I have told you, people, let me repeat it one more time. The persons who are asking me, I have installed SQL, but it is not working, or if the version is not matching or anything, then if you forgot the password or anything, okay, then the thing is that you need to reinstall the thing. Like you need to uninstall that you have installed. Then you have to follow the process from the initial step and install everything again. Even though if you get any problem and if you are not able to do that, then you can raise a ticket regarding to it. and one of the team member will connect to you on any desk and they will help you to install it on your system. Okay, that is the thing. So right now in the class, what I can do is that I can explain the things. I can explain the things. I cannot move ahead to the totally different topic and try talk about installing, because the it has already been shared over your LMS. So please go through that recording session. Okay. Please show the step again. I have not shown any step until now. Okay. There isn't any step. The steps are going to be that you follow to the preparatory session that I told you. Go through that recording session. I think you missed the class. Okay. The person who is asking me which class. So please be in the class. Okay. Because we discussed about this for like 10 to 15 minutes already, that there is a preparatory session or shared over your LMS. Go through that session and follow the steps in order to install MySQL Workbench. Okay. Okay, now let me talk. Okay, please don't get like why my DB is not showing as everything. Let me talk, people. So this is the area where you are supposed to type the queries. Okay, and by default on your system this thing will appear, this Aquila, this SYS, and this vault. This DB will not appear in your MySQL Workbench. This is something that I have created. Okay, this is my database. I have been I have created this before the classes that I took. It is from there. Okay, so don't mind this. It is not a problem if you don't have this on your system. Okay, it doesn't matter if you don't have any of this in your system also. It doesn't matter. None of this is our concern. Okay, we don't need to look over here. Where did you look is that if this thing is appearing on your screen, like this management is instance performance. Okay, these are something that you will we will talk later on. You will talk about this later on. This is not our concern right now. Here there is this tab which says schemas. Here you need to click on this. After this clicking on this thing will appear. Okay, I got on this page by clicking on the MySQL Workbench software. Open that, and after opening you will get a tab local instance, and then you will get it over here. Okay, so here are some bunch of menus available like file, edit, view, query, database, server. Okay, so these we will talk about this once we will start implementing things. Once we will start writing the queries, we will get to know what are like in file. We have these options. Okay, new, like open, then run SQL script, something like this. Okay, we will talk about this later on. In the same way, here are some bunch of icons. This is to open folder, this is to save something, this is to run the command, this is also to run the command. Okay, and we don't have any concern with other these things. That is not our concern. Okay, these are the shortcut, these keys that you can see here, this one SQL, this one. Okay, these are the shortcuts that you can use in order to open something, in order to create a database, in order to create file. So we will talk about those options and the interface later on. Okay, right now let's start the thing. So what was the query that I wrote on the blackboard in order to create database? Create database, right? So here I will write create. Then after that we'll write database. I want to create a database. Okay. Then I will name this database at school. So I'll write it school like this and give semicolon. These are the three words only that you need in order to create a database. Okay. How, what are you going to write? You will write create, you will write database, and then the name of the database. So I have written here school. Okay. Now, in order to execute this, in order to run this, can you see this fourth option over here? This one. Okay, where I have my cursor, we need to click on it. Okay, after clicking on it, you will see something in this action output. Okay, so we need to click on this option. I have clicked on it. Then can you see here in action output, this green check button is appearing now. Are you able to see this? So this green check button means my command has successfully executed. There was not any error and school database has been created over there. Okay. That means in my system, I have successfully created a school database. Are you guys getting the point? What does this green check button means? This green check button means that I have successfully created a database. Now I need to see the databases. Okay. I need to see the database that I have created. So can you see here are some default databases already appearing? Can you see on the left side? Are you guys able to see on the left side on my screen? There is like this DB. This is Sakila. This is SYS. Then this is Vault system. Okay. So now, since I have created this database that is school, I need to see that. In order to see that, I need to refresh it. Okay, what do I need to do, people? What do I need to do in order to see the database? Okay, we need to refresh it. So to refresh it, take your cursor on this blank area, right click on it. Okay, after right clicking on it, here there is refresh all option. Let me repeat one more time. In order to refresh it, go to go to this blank area. Okay, right click on it and then refresh all option. Can you see this refresh all option? All of you, I want all of you to tell me if you are able to see this refresh all option or not. Okay, so even though if this thing is not appearing on your screen, it's not a deal. Okay, here this is administration option downside, look here. Then here is this schemas tab. You need to click on this schema here. Take your cursor over here and click on it to get this one. Okay, after you get here, go to this blank area, right click on it and then click on this refresh all option. After clicking on refresh all option, can you see this? Now this school is appearing over here. Are you guys able to see this? So this means that I have successfully created a database in my system. Okay. And this is a very simple way, and our very first query in this SQL module that we executed in order to create the database. And the name of my database is school. Now, after this, we will be creating tables inside this database and we will be inserting the data or we'll be inserting the values over there. Okay. I hope this creating database is clear to all of you. Okay. So since we are done with creating the database, okay, now we'll go to our whiteboard and here we'll move forward. Okay, we'll take one more step. As I told you, if you guys remember, I told you that inside the database, okay, how are the data stored? Okay, so just now I created a database, this, and the name of my database is school. Okay. Now consider that I want to, inside this school, this is a school, and here I want to store information of students. Okay, I want to store information of students. There might be so many number of students, right? So in order to store the students, I cannot directly store the information. Inside this school, the data are stored in the form of tables. How are the data stored, people? They are stored in the form of tables. Okay. So for example, if I have a person, like if I have a student, for example, I have three students. One's name is Anna, second student's name is John, okay, and third student's name is Edward. Okay, I want to store the information of these three students. So in order to store the information of three students, we all know that inside the school, inside the database, this these are stored in the form of tables. So what do we need to do is that we need to create a table. What do we need to do now, people? We need to create table. Okay, and what does the table look like? If you guys remember, you must have already idea about the table from the Excel as well, right? So it's a table over here. And is there anyone who can define table for me? Okay, is there anyone who can define table for me? Okay, so we can define table as, can we say tables are the combination of rows and columns? Yeah, tables are the combination of rows and columns. Can we say that? We can define table in that way. Okay, so here these are rows, right? Sorry, these are columns. These are what? These are columns, and these are what? These are rows. Okay, and with the combination of rows and columns, the tables are made. Okay, and now here, if I talk about this one particular box, can you tell me what is this one particular box called over here? Okay, this box is called cell. Okay, this box is called a cell, and one value, okay, one value goes inside a single cell. Okay, one value goes inside a single cell. For example, I am going to create a table named student, okay, where I need to store the name of student. I also need to store the roll number of the students. Okay, so maybe the roll number is 101, 102, and 103, like this. Maybe I need to store the age of the students. So maybe it's like 12, it's like 13, it's like 12, like this. Okay, so I have this bunch of informations given, and I need to store it in the database. So the first thing that I've done is that I have created a database. Now, after this, I need to create a table. Okay, yeah, the entirety of columns and rows are called tables. Yes. So if you guys remember, if you guys see carefully, people, if you see carefully over here, then if I am supposed to store the name, roll number, and age, then I need to define the header. That means here I need to write that in this whole column, I'm going to store the name. In this column, I am going to store the roll number, and in this column, I'm going to store the age, right? So in this way, I need to define the fields. Yes or not? Okay. So while creating table, you cannot just randomly create a table. While creating a table, we need to define its header as well. Okay, what is this called? This is called field name. Yeah, you can call it as a field name also. We can call it as a header also, because of this header, okay, I would understand that, okay, in this whole column, we are only supposed to store the name. In this column, we are only supposed to store the roll number. In this column, we are only supposed to store the age. Okay, so in this way, we need to define the header while creating the table. Is this clear to all of you? Okay, and the name of this table is going to be student. Here, while defining this table, we need to define the field name also. And once we have this field name, I can insert the record. Maybe the first record is of Anna, so I'll write here Anna. The roll number for Anna is going to be 101 and the A's would be like 12. Okay, so we call this one thing. Okay, we call this one value as one record. So in this way, if I will store the value for John and Edward also, then that means I will have 3 record in this table. Okay, so here if I will add, okay, like John and the roll number is 102 and the age is 13, then how many records do I have in my table right now? In database, we can store data in numeric form only. No, we can store in any form. Okay. So here this John is not numeric form. This Anna is also not numeric form. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Like what is the structure of table going to look like? Okay, so these are the values. Okay, these two, this Anna and John are the record. We add record later on. The first step is to create table. Okay, the first thing that we do is that we will create a table, and after creating a table, we insert records. Okay, we insert records, or we can say that we insert values inside the table. So since we have created this database school, now we will see how can we create this table that is student. Okay, just like creating, we had syntax to create database, we have a syntax to create table also. Okay, so here if I talk about the syntax, then it is going to be something like you will write create. Okay, so this time you are going to create table. You are not going to create a database. This time you are going to create tables. So you will write the name table. Okay, and what is the name of the table? The name of the table is going to be student, right? So here you will write student like this because we are creating a student table. The name can depend on you. You can decide the name as you want. Okay, if you remember, I told you that while creating the table, we need to define this header also. You remember that? You cannot just create an empty table. You are supposed to create a table where you need to define these headers also. Okay, so if I'm going to create this table, I need 3 columns over here. Okay, so what I'll do is that here we need to define the header. Okay, so header is like this is first column, this is second column, this is third column, right? So here we will give the column 1, name of the column 1. Okay, then you will give name for the column 2, then you will give name for the column 3. Right now I want to create a table with 3 columns only, so I'll write column 1, column 2 and column 3. Then if you look carefully, the first column is, after that for each column we need to define its data type also. That means what kind of data is column 1 going to store? Is it going to store string type? It is going to store numeric type, or what type? Okay, we need to define the data type. So for each column, we'll write the name of the column, then data type, then give parenthesis and semicolon. Okay, so this is the syntax in order to create the table. Now, if you will implement this to create this table, okay, try to answer me, people. I want to create this table. Okay, so you need to create the syntax. How will you write it? You will write create. Okay, then you will write table, and then you will write student. Right, then after this you'll give a parenthesis like this. What is the name of the column 1? What is the name of the column 1? Name. So here you will write name. Okay, then what is the name of the column 2? It's roll number. So you will write roll number like this. Okay, The name of the column 3, it's A's. So here you will write A's. Okay. Now we need to write the data type for each and everything. Okay. So the data type for name, if you guys remember the data type from programming foundation, okay, we had something that we discussed. In order to store name or values, we had string, right? But here we are not going to use string. In SQL, string is not supported, okay? The function is same, but instead of string, we will write varchar. Okay, here what you will write varchar. And why is varchar? It's just like string. It is same. The function is same, okay? The only difference is that uh, in SQL, we don't use string, we use varchar. Other all of the things are same. Okay, so the data type for name is going to be varchar, and we need to define the size, like how many letters can be of here. So you can define the size randomly. Okay, let me tell you, this 20 means what? This 20 means the number of character that is allowed to be stored. Okay, for example, here have a look over here. If I will write name, okay, and if I define a data type that is varchar, and if I write 3 only over here in this parenthesis, if I write 3, then while storing data, I can store Anna because there are 3 letters, there are 3 characters, okay. But if I will try to store John, then I will get an error. I'll get error for this. Why is that? Because I have defined that only maximum of 3 characters are allowed. Okay, so this, the number that I have written inside this parenthesis means the number of characters, the maximum number of characters allowed for a single cell. Are you guys getting the point? So here you can take a guess. Okay, you can write here 20, you can write here 30, you can write here 40, 50. You can take a guess and you can write as numbers as you want. Okay, and the maximum of that you can write is, you can write maximum of 255. Is this clear to all of you? Okay, so this one, okay, in order to save name for any, it is number of characters. We cannot remove error. Okay, error is something that is generated. You cannot remove error. Why 255 only? Because the varchar has been created in such a way that it allows us to create 255 character for a single cell. Okay, just like we have defined number of row and column in Excel, in the same way we have maximum number of characters. What I'm saying is that in name field, if you will use varchar, okay, then you need to define the length of characters. Length of the characters, okay. If I will write here 3, then that means I can store the values with 3 characters only. Maybe I can store Anna because there are 3 letters. I can store ABC because there are 3 letters. I can store XYZ. Okay, I can use RAJ Raj because there are 3 letters. In this way, okay, it will take, I will not get any error. But if you will try to insert the data with more than 3 characters, maybe if you try to store John, or maybe if you try to store Edward as the name, okay, then you will get an error for this. Why is that? Because you are allowed, because you, while creating the table, you define the size that the length of the character should be 3 only. Like it could be less than 3, you can store a single A also, but it should not be more than 3. Okay, so this number is like defining the length of the characters. Are you guys getting the point? So here if I have written 20, then I can store those names that have 20 characters in it. I won't be allowed to store the name that has more than 20 characters in it. And you can take a guess yourself. Like you can write here 30, 40, 50, okay, 60, anything. No, we need to define the length. If you will not define the length, you will get an error and your command will not get executed. So we need to define the length. Okay, this is what syntax is. Now for roll number, we have integer data type. So I'll write here int. For integer, we don't need to define the length. Okay, for varchar only we need that. Here you need to give comma. After this also you need to give comma before, because you have a third column. Okay, here you need to give comma, here you need to give comma. Then for age also we have a data type, that is int, because we are storing numbers. Is there any more column after age? Yes, we can store character less than 20. I'm talking that 20 means maximum of 20 characters. Maximum of 20 characters are allowed, not more than that. Less than that, yes. Yes, in varchar, you can store combination of name and number both. After roll number, I have written int. Int is the data type for storing numbers. Okay. So for integer, we'll write here int. Is there any column after age? No, there is not. So you don't need to give comma. Okay. You'll give the parenthesis, then semicolon like this. And in this way, you can create a table. Now let's go to our SQL workbench and let's try to create a table first. Okay. If you want to write more than 20 characters, then write 30. If you want to store more than 30 characters, write 30, 40, 50. Okay, in that way you can do that. Yeah, where varchar means variable character. Yes. So here I'm going to write create table. Okay, the name of my table is going to be school. Give parenthesis like this. Inside this, I will have 3. First of all, I'll write your roll number. Okay. This will be of integer data type. After this, I have second column. So I'll give comma. Here I will store the name of the student. Okay. For name, we have varchar data type here. If you want to store 50 characters or more than like maximum of 60 or 70 characters, just randomly write your 70. It's up to you that you can take any guess. Okay. I don't think there is any person in this world who have 70 characters in their name. So you can take a random guess and just write there 70, 80 or anything. Okay. It's just a guess that you can take. Then after that, I need to store the age. So I'll take age. And what is the data type for age? The data type for age is going to be int. So here you will write. So do I need to give comma after this? I don't have any more columns. Okay. I don't have any more columns. So do I need to give comma after this? No. So I will press enter and then parenthesis and then semicolon. Okay. So many options are coming because it's a suggestion for us. It's up to you. It's up to us if we want to take it or not. Options will come like that. Okay. So before creating the table, okay, one thing that we have forgotten to do is here, before creating the table, in which database are we going to create this table? School, right? As you can see that I have how many database right now in my system? Right now in my system, okay, in my system I have five databases, right? In my system right now I have 5 databases. So I need to tell the computer, I need to tell the system in which database I want to work right now, or in which database I want to create this table, because there are multiple databases. Okay, so I need to tell the computer like in which database I want to create this table right now. Okay, so here I will write use and then the name of the database. I want to create this table student in school database. Okay, so I will simply write use school. Okay, So this means what? What does this youth school means? This means that I have multiple database in my system right now, but I want to store, I want to create my student table in school database. Okay, so I need to specify that. Without specifying, you won't be able to create the table. So make sure you do this. Okay. So you need to make sure you do this. After creating the database, this is the second command. Okay. First, we will create the database. Then after that, you will execute this. So I will execute it. I will execute this. Then now my school database is in use. Okay. So here, now this is the query to write the database, create table. We need to define the length. Okay. If you will not define the length, you will get an error. So there isn't any default value. There isn't any default value for the length of the character. You need to define the length. As you can see that here I'm getting this cross sign. This means I have error. Okay. So here give parenthesis, take a random guess. 70, 80, 90, whatever you want. Okay. And then type it. So in this way, we have written the query. First of all, we created a database school. Then we made use of that database. Okay. Okay, it should be create table student. Thank you so much. It should not be school. So create table. The name of the table is going to be student. Then there would be 3 columns: roll number, name, and age. Okay. And then after this, here we will execute it. Now, after executing it, we need to click on this fourth option. Okay. After writing use school, what you did to enter in school. After writing use school, I copy pasted this command. Yeah, you can take 100 also. You can take maximum of 255. Okay, so let me execute this. I have executed. Can you see that I got this green check button? That means I have created my table successfully. Okay, the table has been created now. Right now, we have only created the structure of table. There isn't any value in it. With this query, what I have created is here, something like this has been created. Okay. You have created something which looks something like this only. Like here it is, you have your roll number, you have name, and you have age. That's it. Okay, you have created this thing. This is the structure of table. Once you will start adding the records, once you will start adding the value, then it will add the values like this. Okay, then the structure of table will start to grow. Okay. So in order to see the table, we need to insert value in it first. Okay. In order to see the table, first of all, what we need to do is that we need to insert the value in it. And yes, the table has been created. We are sure about it because here this is a green check button, and this means that there was not any error and my table has been created. Okay, I have successfully created my table. Is everything clear up to here? We wrote use school because I told you we have multiple databases. Okay, we have multiple databases in our SQL workbench right now, and we need to tell the system in which you want to create this table out of these multiple databases, in which you want to create this table. So I want to create this student table in school database. That's why I write use school. If you are getting error after next 2 years, then maybe you have given comma or something over here. Please match your queries with mine. It's a very simple query over here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. First line, create table student, a parenthesis, roll number int, a comma, name, varchar, and then 70, then age and int. Why are we creating student? Not why not school? School is the name of database. No, inside the school we are going to store the information of student. You can also create a table named teachers. You can also create a table named staff. Okay, that's why we are giving the name as student. Yes, I execute. After writing each query, I'm executing it. So after writing use school also, I execute it. Int is a data type. Int means in that particular column, we can store number values only. Any more questions? If it does not work for you, there might be a minor mistake that you are making. You might not be able to notice it. Okay, you can specify the error that you are getting me. You can specify the error that you are getting to me as well. I'll try to help you with that. Okay, now let's insert value in this table. Okay, we have created the structure of the table. There isn't any data in table yet. There isn't any data. We need to insert data. Okay, we need to insert what? We need to insert value. We need to insert records. I want to insert 3 records. Okay, for name, age, and roll number. So the syntax for insert is going to be something like this. You will write insert. Previously we were creating, right? That's why I wrote create command. Now we are inserting value, so I will write insert command. Insert into. Okay, insert into, and here name of the table. Table name. Ma'am, schemas, we have so many options. And how come the table is created only under school? Because I execute this query in a youth school. After executing this query, the computer get to know that I'm supposed to create the table in the school database. That's why it was created inside that only. So insert into table name. Okay. And then after this, you will give the parenthesis and the number of columns that we have in your table. Right now I have 3 columns, right? So we'll write column 1, column 2, and column 3. Then after that, here you write values. Okay. And for each column, we will give the value. Then here it is going to be value 1 for column 1. Okay. Here it is going to be value 2. Here it is going to be value 3, like this. Okay. In the same way, if I'm going to add more, it's not value 1, 2. It is like value 1 for column 1, value 1 for column 2, and value 1 for column 3. If you want to add more values, give comma, and then value 2, comma, then value 2 for column 2, then value 2 for column 3. Okay, then give comma, and then after that, here is value 3, here is value 3, and here is also value 3. Okay, and once it's done, then what we do is that we just give here semicolon at the end. Now, if, for example, if I want to store this informations, okay, like I want to store about Anna, her age is 12 and roll number is 101. Okay, then there we have John, he is 13, roll number is 102. Okay, then we have Edward, He is also 12 and roll number is 103. Okay. Then the person who is sharing me the query that you have written, you have given semicolon after roll number and int. You are not supposed to give semicolon after int. You are supposed to give comma. Okay. So let's try to add this value by using the syntax. Are you guys able to do this? Okay. Let's do this. Okay. So here I will write insert and then into. What is the name of the table, people? What is the name of the table? Student. So here I will write student. Okay. And inside this parenthesis, we have 3 columns. Okay. And what are the name of the columns? The first column is roll number. So you will write roll number over there. And after that, you will write column 2, that is name. And after that, you will write A's like this. Okay. This is the first line. After that, you will write your values. Okay. So for roll number, you will specify the value for roll number. What is the value for roll number? It is going to be 101. Okay. Integer. Remember that if you remember, for varchar data type, we need to write the value inside a double quotation mark. Okay. Inside a double inverted comma. So if the name is Anna, then it is supposed to be written like this, double inverted comma, and then Anna, and then like this. Okay. For every varchar data type, we need to enclose the value in double inverted comma. You need to remember that. And after that, age. For age, it is 12 like this. Then give comma. Okay. Second value. Roll number is 102. Name is John. So you will include it in double inverted comma like this. John. Then give comma over here. Okay. Then the age is going to be 13. Third value we have. Third record we have. So here we will write 103, that is roll number. Okay. And then for name we have Edward. So you will include it in double inverted comma. Okay, like this. Give comma, and the age of Edward is 12. So you'll write 12 over here. So our last record, so I'll give a semicolon like this. Okay. So let's let's implement this over here. Okay. Isn't Excel more easy? Excel is more easy, but Excel is not compatible if you are going to work on a large scale. Okay. In database, we can store unlimited amount of data, but with Excel, we cannot do that. So on a small scale of industry, we can use Excel, but on a large scale, we are supposed to use the database. Okay. So here we are going to insert. I will erase this. So for that, I'll write your insert into name of the table, that is student. Okay. Insert into student and parenthesis. What is the name? Here inside it parenthesis, you need to write the columns. First column is roll number. Okay, come. Second is name. Then third one is what? Third one is age. Age. Okay. After that, you will write your values. So for roll number, what is the value for roll number? It's 101. Okay. For name, you need to give double inverted comma. So double inverted comma like this, and the name. And the age like 12. Okay. Then parenthesis, comma. For second value, give parenthesis 102. Okay. And then over here, what was the name? John. Okay. And then age, that is 13, like this. Give comma. Then after that, third value 103. Then here, double inverted comma. Then name. Okay. Comma. You need to include the value in double inverted comma. These are also going to play important role. If you will miss one comma also, you'll get an error. So make sure that you are writing it correctly. Okay. And the age is going to be 12. This is my last value. So I'll give semicolon like this. Okay. So this is the query that is going to be in order to insert value in the table. Is this clear to all of you? Okay, now let's execute this. I will execute this. I have executed it over here. You can see that I got this green check button. That means there wasn't any error and my command has been successfully executed. Okay. Now after this, we will see the table. So please let me know, is everything clear up to here or not? How to under meaning of masses of error by computer. That is by default. We are not going to do anything about it. Okay. So basically this is what we are supposed to do. Okay, we need to work, we need to input records and values with it. With Excel, there are so many functions that you will learn about SQL in upcoming classes. Okay, like the retrieving data, like updating, making changes. There are so many things, there are so many applications, functions that you will use. So Excel might look easy, but Excel is not the thing that people are using to work in real life industry, right? People are using databases. All of the famous enterprises that I told you, they are using database in order to do that. So we cannot comprehend database with Excel. After creating the table, if you have further data, then you can insert again more data. Okay, I'll show you. Can you please look at some error? Which error are you talking about? Please. Your keyboard is not letting you type double inverted comma. Press shift and then press on that double inverted comma sign. Yeah. When I say that Excel will not be comforted when it's large data, that means Excel cannot store lakhs of data. Okay, you cannot store like do you have any idea how many datas a particular enterprise relate on daily basis? You know, like there are billions of data stored. Okay, millions of data, like millions and billions of data are being, okay, you cannot store millions of data in Excel. Okay, and it's not like there is only one database that is going to store millions of data. There are, so you have to enter the data manually. Yes, you have to do that. If the data is unique, then you have to do that. Okay, you are getting the error. The person who sent me create table school, you are getting that error because the school table already exists. Change the name of the table and there won't be any error. To put double inverted comma, press shift from your keyboard and press on the double inverted comma key that is at the side of the enter. Yes, we have to enter all data manually. As I'm telling you, yes, we have to do that. Yeah, we can edit the data after that also. Then in order to edit the data, we have something that is called update command that we will learn in upcoming classes. Okay. We can edit everything of the header. We can edit the data of the value, but that is a different topic and we will discuss in upcoming classes, not now. Okay. To use double inverted comma, you are supposed to press shift key and there's a key beside the enter key. You're supposed to press on that. You are not going to store millions of data. Don't worry about that. Okay, you are not alone who is going to work on a certain database, and you are not going to store the millions of data yourself. There are bunch of databases. You will see the how we have multiple databases, how we extract from multiple databases. Okay, you will see that in upcoming classes, so please don't worry about it right now. If you miss the class, then you can refer to the recording session later on. Yes, you can do that. The thing that you said, that is at the rate. Okay. Double inverted comma is somewhere on your keyboard at the side of enter key. Yeah, we are supposed to insert all the time. If the SQL does not want to take double inverted comma, then give single inverted comma. How are we typing that inverted comma here in my chat box? Just copy paste it over there then. You are getting, the person who said me error create table student, you are getting the error because your syntax is wrong. There is not comma after name column. There is not comma after roll number int. So please do that. Towards the table, I will tell you what we can do. Wait for some time. Yes, you can add more values. You can add more values. You just need to simply follow the steps. Okay. Just write like this and erase this from here to here. Erase this thing. And the new value that you want to add, just add it like this. Like, for example, I want to add 104. Name is going to be Aisha. Okay. And then age here like 12, like this. So in this way, you can add more values. Okay, now in order to see the table, we have a command that is called select, and I will discuss about this command in briefly in upcoming classes. Okay, right now I'm just going to show you the table. Let me repeat again. I will talk about this command in brief in upcoming classes. Okay, right now I'm only going to show you the table. So in order to see the table, you are supposed to write select star from student. And as I told you, I will discuss about this query, what is select, what is star, what is everything. Yeah, in briefly in upcoming classes. Right now, those who want to see the table that you have created, just write this on your screen, on your working area, and click on this. Okay. So can you see this table, everyone? This is the table that we have created. And here I have 4 records inserted in this table. Okay, I think you didn't hear me. The person who is sharing the error that you are getting again and again, you are getting the error because you didn't include comma after the varchar 20. You didn't include the comma after int. So please listen to me and implement on it. Yes, now it's correct. How to insert the data? To insert the data, we discussed it here. Like, this is the query to insert the data. This one. Are you giving dot after roll number or something? That maybe that's why you are getting error. What is that after roll number? Is there dot or something? Is there a decimal point or something? And the person who is getting error in the Ramesh field, you are getting this error because you didn't include the Ramesh in double inverted comma. Okay, as I told you, when you are inserting the value, you are supposed to include the value for the varchar in double inverted comma. To display result, in order to display result, just type this: select star from name of the table, that is student, like this. To see the result, write there, select star from student. Okay, if you are not able to see the inserted value, then maybe you have made some mistake while inserting the value. That's why you are getting that. Okay, people, so we are done for today's class. Okay, we saw how to create table, we saw how to create table and how to insert value in it. In our upcoming classes, we'll talk about other commands and queries. No, you don't need to download any data for this. I get to the table by typing this one. If you'll type this line, okay, and if you'll execute it, then you will get to the table. To download MySQL, you are supposed to refer to a preparatory session that is in your LMS, go through it, see the session, and then follow the steps to download MySQL in your system. Yes, the one who can leave, you can leave the class. In order to add the values, you are supposed to write this one, okay? This insert from here. You might be making some error. Give semicolon at the end or something. The date, I don't know the exact date. I think it's maybe 26th of November, 25th, something like that. 26th of November. Okay, thank you everyone. So meanwhile, make sure that you revise everything that was taught in the class, okay? And in our upcoming classes, we will be solving so many questions. We'll be solving so many problems over there. Yeah, if you will run code twice, the table will not be created twice, but the values will be added twice. What you can do is that the error that you are getting, take a screenshot of that error, share it over the ticket, and I will help you to get it resolved. Because right now I'm not able to see your error and it's difficult for me to help you with that. So please do that. Take the screenshot of the error, okay? Upload it on the ticket asked out session, and I will help you to get resolved it over it. No, there isn't any method to exit from SQL. Yes, this is the way to add 3 values. The person who is asking me just, can you add 2 more values? Yeah, this is the way to add values. Menu, I will describe the menu in upcoming classes, okay? For today, we don't need to do that. I will describe those things in upcoming classes. If you want to add more value, then just erase it like this, okay? Then give parenthesis. Here, write some roll number, okay? Write here name like this, ABC or something, then write A's, give semicolon, that's it. About deleting the repeated column, we are going to talk about in upcoming classes, okay? Yes, you can leave now. Okay, thank you so much for today's class, people. Thank you so much for joining. Now I'll see you next weekend. Till then, have a great day. If you will run the code 5 times also, then you are going to get the data 5 times. Okay, so please don't do that. You're supposed to erase it and then add the new value. Because right now there isn't any rule. We are just a basic of SQL. This is a very first class. Later on, I will teach you how to create a table with rules and regulations where you all not be allowed to include duplicate data. Okay, but right now you would be able to do that. So even though if you'll run it 10 times, the value will be added there 10 times. So you are supposed to prohibit it. Okay, thank you everyone. I'll see you next weekend.